Are you able to say what you mean? Or do you feel you have to tailor what you're going to say to the situation or to the person who's going to receive it? In the early days of a relationship, I really didn't understand how communication worked. What I've learned since is that only 7% of communication is the words we use. The other 93% is body language and tone of voice. Knowing that changes a lot about why we waste so much time with words. In the early days of relationship, I found myself saying in answer to "how are you?" "fine," in this high-pitched tone, which clearly meant not fine at all, but not able to say what's not fine. I might have been able to say how I felt when things were going normally and there was no stress involved, but when there was any sense of dis-ease or discomfort, then it became very difficult to express what needed to be said. And one young man described that "fine" beautifully, saying that it is feelings inside never expressed. And that's certainly what it was for me. I understand now that the reason I didn't express them was that they were going to come out in an absolutely angry outburst, because there was so much stored there and so much energy behind it that I was actually afraid of myself, what I might say if I really got started. So when we learn to be nice, to be a nice girl, to say nice things, to behave in a ladylike fashion, very often our voice gets dulled and we forget. First of all, we don't know our needs because we've never even asked ourselves. And secondly, we think that it's somebody else's job to meet those needs. We learn that in the early days for our parents, do that like a good girl, do that for your mum, do that for your dad. So it's very conditional, and we expect then in relationship that the other person will be inspired to know what it is we mean without actually telling them. This breeds resentment, hostility, a lot of anger, and probably this feeling of walking on eggshells, which develops in so many relationships, that there are so many cul-de-sacs and so many no-go areas that there's actually nowhere else to go. And very often people just part because it's unsustainable. Finding this safety in yourself to have these difficult conversations is a journey, but it's one that really pays off. Thank you.